No Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Tuesday with that odd off day after Monday's series opener, a huge series opening win at that by the Philadelphia Phillies over the Milwaukee Brewers on the road. The Brewers' best record in not only the National League but in the entire major leagues. Really good season by them. The Phillies went in there off of a tough loss on Sunday Night Baseball at home to the Atlanta Braves, hit the road late at night, played again the very next day, took on the best team in Major League Baseball, and had a come from behind great team win to win that ball game 10-8. Again, off day on Tuesday, but they are back at it here on Wednesday with Aaron Nola on the mound for Game 2, and then they wrap up that series Thursday afternoon. It's a 4:10 local time start here in Philadelphia, wrapping up that 3-game series against the Brewers. Hopefully, we are talking about more Phillies wins against this really good team. Potential playoff preview as well. Two of the best teams in Major League Baseball, two of the best teams definitely in the National League. We could be seeing this come October. Welcome into Phillies Daily, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Now, with no game happening on Tuesday, not a whole lot to talk about just because there's simply no game going on. So I can't recap what happened, talk about mistakes, talk about what was good out of that game. But we can talk about the Phillies' September call-ups. We did see who those two call-ups were. And really, two guys that most fans, most people probably did not predict the Phillies to use for their September call-ups. They called up Tim Mayza and Garrett Stubbs, the catcher. Now, Mayza, solid move. I don't hate that at all. They claimed him over the weekend from the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was missed most of the season with a couple of injuries. He was on the 60-day injured list. The Pirates waived him. Phillies claimed him. He's a veteran left-handed reliever. Pretty solid, really, overall. He's a career 3.84 ERA and 375 appearances in the major leagues between a few different teams. Obviously, most recently with the Pirates here in 2025 and now the Phillies. Again, he was placed on the 60-day IL by the Pirates back in April this year. Before that, he had a 2.89 ERA, only through 9 1/3 innings before being placed on the IL with the Pirates. His last appearance with them before he was on the IL was April 18th. So again, hadn't pitched for most of this season, hadn't pitched in months at the major league level. Now, he did pitch for the Phillies in Monday's series opening win against the Brewers, and he looked pretty solid for them. He threw a scoreless perfect inning for the Phillies with a strikeout. Again, an extra left-handed arm out there in the bullpen. It can't hurt here for the final month of the season. Again, a veteran, 33-year-old, I believe he is. Some success here, proven success in the majors. Some playoff success as well in the majors. I don't hate that move. Obviously, the more bullpen guys you have, especially at this point of the season, the better. And he looked pretty good in Monday's win over the Brewers. We'll see if he can continue that. In however situation Rob Thompson and the Phillies decide to use him moving forward in the Phillies bullpen. Again, a move that really can't hurt them for what they have, especially with the bullpen being such a big weakness here this season all year long. Now, the other call-up, Garrett Stubbs, very, very, very mixed emotions, mixed reactions among the Phillies fan base. A lot of people love him. I mean, I like the guy. He's a great vibe guy. He's got a great personality. He's great in the locker room. But that's really all Garrett Stubbs is good for. We've seen him play many times here over the past few years with the Phillies since he came over from the Houston Astros. First played with the Phillies back in 2022. He is a career .215 hitter at the major league level. That is horrible. He's also a career .222 hitter with the Phillies since 2022. Again, not good in those 2022, 23, 3 seasons with the Phillies. And obviously didn't make the big league roster out of spring training. Rafael Marchand was the opening day backup catcher behind JT Realmuto, and he continued to hold that role all year long. Garrett Stubbs was batting just .265 at AAA with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs before he was just called back up here for September. Again, not a great batting average. It's all right these days in baseball terms, but again, a major league, so-called major league caliber player, veteran, should not be batting .265 in the minor leagues, should be a higher average, should have more success playing at that level, and Garrett Stubbs still just couldn't get the job done overall there in AAA with the Iron Pigs. Now, again, he does bring good vibes. He's great in the locker room, great, in that aspect of the game for whatever reasons you want, use him for that. I don't know. But still, he's also good with pitchers. That's another good trade for him. He works well with pitchers. They like him. Very good, especially having him down there in AAA this year with those young pitchers. But again, really no use for him at the major league level right now for the Phillies, trying to help them win games. JT Realmuto obviously plays pretty much every day. When he doesn't play, it should still 100% be Rafael Marchand playing on JT Realmuto's very, very rare day off, because Marchand's younger. He's got more talent, he's got more skill, got more potential than Stubbs. And, it's just so weird to see, or even have that thought of Stubbs just being up here with the Phillies for this month. I get it. Has a little bit more insurance, I guess, at the catching position with JT Realmuto being older. Tough position to play every day. But again, he does play every day for the majority of the part. There's only 25 or so games left in the regular season. I feel like the Phillies could have used that other extra spot on a different guy, maybe a younger guy like Justin Crawford to finally get some major league at-bats. I know they want him to play every day, get consistent at-bats, but this is the time to bring up your top talent in the minors, especially a guy like Crawford who's been killing it in AAA all year at the plate. This is the time you get him some looks here and then see what you have moving forward into the next season. A lot of teams do it with their top prospects. The Phillies did not decide to do that this year here in 2025. Could have also brought up a guy again like Otto Kemp, utility guy, better option, playing overall in the field than Garrett Stubbs, who's just a catcher. Other guys as well. Keaton Anthony was a first baseman, had a little bit of experience outfield back in college, having an incredible year in the minors for the Phillies as well, among other guys. But the Phillies decided to go with Garrett Stubbs for whatever reason. I mean, if they wanted him just for the vibes for this last month of the season to try to go into the playoffs hot and on a high note, really just come out there and say it, in my opinion. But again, just a very questionable, head-scratching decision, in my opinion, there by the Phillies. Now, sticking with Stubbs, now that he is back up at the major league level with the Phillies, he was asked about the Phillies' number one prospect, Andrew Painter. Obviously, Garrett Stubbs playing at AAA, playing with Andrew Painter. He was his catcher whenever he's playing pretty much every time, working with him on the daily. Very up and down season for Andrew Painter. Hasn't bounced back like people would have hoped he would have from that Tommy John surgery where he missed 2 years of pitching. Again, coming off Tommy John surgery, not an easy surgery, not an easy injury to come back from for any guy, especially a young guy who is still developing as a player, as a prospect like Andrew Painter. He was originally expected to join the Phillies starting rotation or the Phillies team sometime around July this year. Obviously did not happen. Now, likely won't see him in a Phillies uniform at the major league level until next year in 2026. Again, Phillies' number one prospect, one of the top prospects in all of baseball as well. Hard-throwing, 22-year-old right-handed pitcher. Very good talent, very good stuff. Again, just not a lot of success for him consistently in AAA. He had shown a lot of good signs throughout the season. Still has, but hasn't really been able to put it all together and get to where he was before having that Tommy John surgery yet. But again, Stubbs was asked about him, and Stubbs had nothing but great things to say. He believes that this season was a success for Andrew Painter just for the fact that he was able to stay healthy all year, go out there, get his innings in, get his work in, and just consistently keep getting work. And really, I agree with Stubbs in that aspect. No setbacks really for Andrew Painter, which is great to see. Again, he's still a young guy, still developing as a player, trying to get back to where he was before this major surgery. And again, that's really all you can ask for him. We would have liked to see a lot more success. We would like to see him pitching at the major league level for the Phillies, but that time will come sooner rather than later. And again, it's really just more important that he has been able to stay healthy. We'll see what happens going into next season with that. Now, switching things around to the Phillies themselves here, right here at the major league level. Bullpen's been a major issue in 2025. Outfield consistency has been an issue in 2025. Hitting with runners in scoring position has been an issue in 2025. But perhaps one of the biggest issues right now, especially come playoff time, that really has to be tightened up, has to be fixed, is the Phillies' issues in the field. Just haven't been great, especially as of late. There's been a lot of mistakes in the field, whether it's a bobbled ball, runner ends up being safe from a bobbled ball misplay in the infield, something bad decision to throw the ball to the outfield when you hit your cutoff man, throw to a certain base, whatever, and then a guy ends up scoring or gets an extra base, gets in scoring position, or a rundown. We've seen it happen twice recently that the Phillies botched 2 rundowns. Players were safe. Runs ended up scoring on certain ones. just can't happen at the major league level, especially on a championship caliber team like the Phillies. Those mistakes come playoff time, come October when you are playing the best teams in the league, are just going to kill you, especially when you're going up these great pitchers. You're not going to be scoring a lot of runs consistently, and this one little fielding mistake could prove costly, could lose you a playoff game, and could ultimately end your playoff run earlier than you would want. They need to tighten this up. Has been a very big issue in 2025, and as of late, as I said, just can't be happening this much for a team like the Phillies, or else we're going to see a repeat of what happened last year. They're going to get into the playoffs on a high note, one of the best teams in the league, and then they're going to lose right away to whoever they end up playing and get home early, sent packing, and we just don't want to have that again like last year. It was a miserable playoff performance by them, miserable offseason, and this team is too good to be losing in the first round of the playoffs. So they got to clean up this defense, and it has to start right now. The Phillies have still a very tough schedule to close out this regular season. Before the playoffs, they are only trailing the Brewers, who they did just beat on Monday, who they still have 2 more games to play against here for the best record in the National League. They have 24 more games left, the Phillies, in 2025 before the playoffs start. Again, 2 more against the Brewers. It would be huge to at least win one of these last 2, win that series and move on. It would be even bigger if they can get a sweep. Now, that's not as likely, but still, already got this first one out of the way. Win at least one more of these 2, and that's great. Inching closer to that top record in the National League. It's going to be tough to catch them with only 24 games left to go here in the regular season, but still, anything can happen. You never know. Just keep winning series. Keep winning as many games as you can. Now, they also have a massive 4-game home series against their division rival, the New York Mets, coming up at Citizens Bank Park starting on Monday of next week. Again, 4-game series. The Phillies did just get swept by the Mets up in Citi Field. They need to win at least split this 4-game series. They can't lose another series to the Mets like they just did, especially get swept. It'd be even worse if it was a 4-game sweep again at home too. Nonetheless, they got to win at least 2 out of these 4. Definitely try to win 3 out of the 4. And this is the biggest series of the season coming up against the Mets. The Mets are still right on their tails for first place in the NL East. They lost a few games since the Phillies got swept by them, but still, the Phillies have to treat that as a playoff type of series, and I'm sure they will, especially the Phillies are great at home. The crowd's going to know it. The atmosphere is going to be great for it. It's going to feel like the playoffs early. Again, they still just need to come away with at least 2 out of the 4 wins, if not 3, if not even a 4-game sweep. That's also unlikely, but they just got to play their best baseball here down the stretch. They also have a huge 3-game road series against the Dodgers out in LA coming up September 15th to the 17th. The Phillies do own the season series record right now over the Dodgers, 2-1. They beat them there at home at Citizens Bank Park. Now they're going to be playing out on the road in LA September 15th to the 17th. First round bye playoff implications. The Dodgers are also just a half game or a game or so behind the Phillies for that second best record in the National League. The top 2 teams in each league get a first round bye. Right now it would be the Brewers and the Phillies it ended right now here in the National League. But again, there's teams right behind them. The Cubs are right behind them. The Dodgers, the Mets, a few other teams. The Padres are right there as well. So we'll see what happens. A lot of playoff implications coming up, whether it's for the division with the Mets, whether it's trying to get the first seed, the top record against the Brewers, or whether it's holding on to this second seed, having a first round bye over teams like the Dodgers, the Cubs, and all those teams I just listed. Just huge stuff coming up for the Phillies. They have to be playing their best baseball these last 24 games of the regular season. They're playing pretty good as of late. Hopefully that continues, and hopefully we keep talking about Phillies wins. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Aaron Nola on the mound here on Wednesday, trying to get this early series victory over the Brewers. Still the series finale on Thursday, but we'll see what Nola does. We need to see him come out and have a good game with, obviously, Zach Wheeler not being around. He needs to step up as the veteran of the Phillies starting rotation here in the final stretch of the season and into the playoffs. Again, thank you guys for watching, and as always, go Phils.